Before we continue, let me just adjust how bright my screen is so it doesn't just glare into my eyes. Because otherwise, I feel like... Just turn it down a little more. There you go. Oh, I have rim lighting. Now that is... Where is this one going from? You know, egg on my face for trying to be in any way immersive. Hello and good evening, study buddy. How is everyone doing today? Oh, pardon me. How's everyone doing today? For those of you who are not familiar with me, my name is Celerity Dust, your study buddy from another universe, streaming live on YouTube actually today. And it's a pleasure to say hello to everyone. Hi. I feel as though I haven't had the opportunity to speak with many of you, though there are plenty of you who are also incredibly wonderful and I'm happy to see. Let me just go down the line and welcome everyone in. Hello, Toombi, Archivist, Kismet, Kaza, Sasquatch. Am I missing anyone? Hello, Angel. Don't think we can handle the hands? Oh. Hi, sorry. This is not my usual stomping ground, is the issue, right? I'm usually used to Twitch, and it's Enoshi, so I don't know what to do here aside of be very thankful to see Hello, T. How are you? Welcome in. T, I showed up on your stream the other day. Not on your stream, but I looked at it. It was pretty good. Yeah, forgive me, I would say we wanted to do this with a little more ceremony, but I feel like, isn't it just enough to celebrate the space and enjoying all of you here? Hello, good evening, Hanel, how are you? This is gonna be a Zatsudan, also known as a Just Chatting. Basically, whatever you all want. I'm here to just talk, and if you want to bring anything up, I'd be happy to speak to it. Though, I'm just going to go on a preamble. Not preamble so much as... Can you see what exactly gets taken away from my videos? Can you just hear the ums and ahs already? The live camera feed's so cool. Thank you very much, Raphael. I needed to switch it up a little bit. If I'd put on recording, it wouldn't be true to life, would it? What's your favorite food before sleeping? I don't eat before sleeping. Honestly, food is terrifying. Especially like how you have it on Earth. It's so complex. I think I'll just have a good glass of water. Hello, Jake. Welcome in. Thank you so much for commenting so much. There's this milkman. Without a shadow of a doubt, believe that to be your father. To me. Are you nervous streaming in these waters? Quite a bit, actually. I'm a little bit heart racy for me. I can't help but I mean, I don't know who's particularly new or not, so yes, I'm a bit shy. The anxiety, the palpable anxiety in the air of every single one of my videos is not for show. If I could be confident, that would be... that's the first part of the docket. No, but how are all of you? What the Sigma? Oh, sorry, Arrow. Am I in your space? Am I intruding? It's 2 a.m. here and you need to exercise? I mean, I've heard recently that a new breed of gym rats have been prowling about since the midway through this, not school year, but year in general, right? You already sound confident. Oh, thank you. I feel as though I stumble on myself a little too much. But 2 a.m. exercise is pretty good. I mean, is that what you have for before sleep, Jake? Is that like your before dinner nap? Or rather, you just need the mental confidence. What does that mean? Please enlighten me. What exactly is mental confidence? I'm actually thinking of dropping YouTube streams for the time being, so it's funny you're starting them at the same time. I'm not starting them frequently, I should say. I think I'd prefer my streams on Twitch, only because the interactivity is off the charts, right? For people who are wondering, does Slurry really talk like that? Does the Slurry put that on for the 10-minute talks? Well, now you know. Jake. Oh, bonjour, comment ça va? Je parle en plus français parce que j'étudie français pour 2 ans, mais c'est mon language favorite. Let's hope that worked. Let's hope that was somehow intelligible. Confidence is rooted in the mind. No matter how a person acts or looks, they can be confident. That's true. In fact, you are more confident. You are more attractive if you're confident. Now, pride is an overabundance in confidence, but if you are just, there are so many people who just look good, but don't carry themselves like they're worthy, and therefore, it's the Superman effect, right? Have you seen that piece of Superman art wherein, I think it's from All-Star Superman, it's one of the it's one of the extras, right? It's one of the extra paneling or sort of preamble around the piece, and it just shows how through posture Clark Kent turns into Superman just without a hunch. It's absolutely crazy. That reminds me, wasn't there a robber who thought cameras in a building couldn't see them because they were covered in lemon juice? There was one. Is that with regards to my recent Dunning-Kruger video? Because I think that is too far in the realm of like insanity for me to wrap my head around. Like, how do you live in such an absurd mental space? How have you fashioned the world in your head to be so eccentric, right? That what comes to mind is, oh, because lemon juice is used for invisible ink, it's an invisible elixir. Okay, so Henel, the thing is, many orally concoctions for ink that it reveals itself against light or against a flame started with lemon juice, because lemon juice would not show on parchment or certain heavy gauges of paper. However, lemon juice does make itself visible when put against light, or if it is burned, after which it burns at a different rate than the rest of the paper, which then reveals a message. Hello, Polka Dot, welcome in. It's so nice to see you over here. The opposite of this is imposter syndrome. Eccentric and delusion is different. One is funny, the other is stupid. Fair enough. The most moist thief. Well, I mean, you have to imagine, right? We live, or at least all y'all live on Earth, you live in a state of just incredible abundance. You can buy lemon juice by the half-liter now. I was thinking about this the other day. People easily believe each other's stuff because people like stuff. That's fair. No, Hanel, you know. I shouldn't be up on him here anyway. Thank you so much for coming in, Polka Dot. How late is it for you? I realize that a lot of you are in Europe. I wonder if that has something to do with how I speak. A buddy of mine has called it transatlantic, and I'm not sure if I necessarily agree with that. I feel like transatlantic is a lot more specific than how I speak. Nor do I think it is the international student accent. Have you all heard of that? How several different young people, because they moved from like America to Europe to Africa to South America, and you know, Oceania, by virtue of moving around, their accent never sticks. So what happens is they have this floating collection of all of these different practices Here I am umming again. Do I have a unique accent? Where would you place it, if I may ask? Yeah, exactly, that's what I'm saying, Ero. Just because there are some, like, isms does not necessarily a transatlantic accent make. I don't think anyone knows your accent, but I can't believe anyone else talks like you. It is unusual, I'm glad. I would say Asia. Ooh, Asia! We quite adore Asia. But are you cheating? You're not cribbing, are you, Jake? You wouldn't happen to be, I don't know, utilizing past knowledge for this test? Happy 1K on Twitch and happy 800 subs on YouTube. Thank you so much, Tristan. I don't think I've seen you before, but hello. Oh, no, you commented on the behavior and therapy video, right? If I recall correctly. Oh, I do remember quite a few of all of you just by virtue of that. I had another chatter from YouTube come over to my Twitter, not Twitter, I don't stream on Twitter, my Twitch, and something that they said, I was able to recognize them by name. Oh, you said in a video that you recognized, pardon me. This is where all of the minutes go. You know, the 10 minutes? This is like at least 2 minutes, just going to Deekstar said, oh, yeah, I started commenting more because I knew you'd recognize me, and I thought it was very cute. YouTube creators remember the commenters. Did you know different languages have gibberish in different syllables? That's a nice camera, and by camera let me just say car. Oh, I don't know where a car is. Just a stream. Hasn't everyone called you cute? Oh no, but you can keep going. I wouldn't mind at all. Cute is actually what I aim for. I feel as though handsome isn't bad, but I feel like it's further away. YouTubers don't remember their commenters, they have millions of comments to go through. Not me, Scar, I only have like 8. I only have like... If I were to count it on one hand, I couldn't, because I have like somewhere around like 15 or so common commenters. Oh, no worries, Polkadot. No pressure to stay in. I'm grateful that you're here otherwise. Like, again, we're just here to share the space together. I'm honestly I'm like a little shaky, if I'm being perfectly honest. Infinite head pats for celerity. Oh, that would be so wonderful. Mint sweets, mint chocolate, mint tea, mint grass, mint flavored babies. I love mint tea. Every once in a while, I'll just binge like 6 videos and comment on them all. I do notice that, Angel. I think that's your MO, as far as I can tell. Like, I have my notifications on still for comments. And it does, like, brighten my heart a little bit. I like charming fits me more than cute. What would be cute? Hannel, how would I go about being cute? What was I gonna say? Did you know different languages have different, filler words? From what I remember anyway. If any of you are French or French Canadian or French British, as Jake is, you're gonna want to correct me if I'm wrong. I never spread misinformation. If I ever do, I believe that to be the correct information. That being said, French people avoid filler words. The French have ba. If the French are trying to fill time, fill words, fill space, they go, parce que, ba 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 ba, da 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 da, right? It does make sense, but you don't really think about it. The Japanese think that the frog says kero, kero, kero. Do you spread misinformation not intentionally? No, I do not. I'm pretty poor at the whole gaslight girl keep, gaslight gatekeep girl bossing thing. I'm quite poor at that. Yes, but ba doesn't sound good. But it's not wrong. Technically correct is the best kind of correct. Happy 830. Hello, Jeandrick. How are you? Thank you so much for the happy 800. I greatly appreciate it. I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it? I'm not even French, but I still want to correct you. Oh, Arrow. Some people, I think it's really cute. I think, like, some people communicate their affection and love primarily through being mean. It reminds me of, playground banter. Boy keep. So, you sort of give like a queen radio host in their 20s from the 1940s has been... Queen or queer? A queen radio host from the 20s, in their 20s from the 1940s, has been transported to the modern day vibes. Okay, I got it. I caught it at the end. Who said this is affection in any capacity? That's how I cope, Arrow. That's how I cope. How are you, Jean-Dric? Good morning, and I hope you have a nice day. Hello, Kalur man. It's evening for me, if you couldn't tell. I record all my 10-minute talks in the morning. At least by virtue of verisimilitude. So I try to keep it. Or just watch me check my nails every now and then. So just every now... So, by virtue of it being evening, I thought it'd be best to, you know, turn off the lights. Moonlight very gently caressing the back of my head. It's crazy how the college's list of causality is based on the East Coast. It really is. It's wild how these celestial bodies just happen to converge, you know? Mount Olympus. Empire State Building. It's kind of like a date. Oh. I don't know, my Twitch chat is a lot more... Do you know what I mean? They're very forward. I have yet to get someone with the same rabid energy as in my Twitch chat to go after me. But then again, I feel like the content kind of clips that, like the wings of a bird, just stops them from being able to flail and fly high. I feel as though if you watch one of my videos, it is like a reverse aphrodisiac. It is a Vulcandisiac. It's a Hephaestician. It's a prophylactic. Do you think your other Twitch viewers will show up? Well, there's one here. Hello, Half, for you. You know, the first few pages of House of Leaves is crazy. I heard it's a really interesting book. It's on my will probably never read, but I've heard good things about list, because I hear it is sort of a book about a review of a film that doesn't exist. Love you, Cell. Congratulations on all the follows. Thank you very much, Half, and how are you? Am I more of a Twitch viewer than a YouTube viewer? I think so. Angel? The lines are a bit hard. Not hard. The lines are a bit... They're a bit smooth. They are... Pardon me. The lines... They're blurred. Thank you. Oh gosh. I hope I got that before Kaza said it, because I feel like I don't want to be caught on a plagiarism scandal. House of Leaves inspired that one Doom Wad, right? Whom? Doom Wad? It's more like an insane man does a film review and tries to remake it. Yeah, base. That's as far as I know. What is that hand gesture? It's like, you know, like Hinata from Naruto. Oh, my house.wad, a non-Euclidean Doom level. Oh, I love that. I don't know about you, but I like wearing my inspirations on my sleeve. Nope, that does not look right. That's me showing my sleeve, but that's not what that definitely looked like. Yeah, it's the cute pointy finger. Thank you, Kaza. What were you all thinking? I mean, like, it's like when you're a nervous, shy individual in an anime. Do the arms have tracking? Just here. Just here. Just up to my wrists, essentially. There are a couple of things I had in mind that I wanted to do, but I feel like we must get acquainted first, right? I feel as though if I were to jump immediately into some kind of antics or video game or ASMR, I feel as though I'd scare some of you off, straight up. It's the tehe pose. No, the tehe pose is like this. Ah, shucks. Tehe? Can I tehe? There you go. You scare me as you are, Cell. Aww. Is it a cute kind of scary? I'm getting a hunger only hands can satisfy. That is an old reference. Between share and save, there's a clip. Oh, good. Acquaintance. Initiate. I'm making Yuden green tea with my Hagiware cup. I'm not familiar. Would you mind if I peek at that really quickly? See, the thing is, right, I just realized something. By virtue of streaming on YouTube, I can no longer watch my or other YouTube videos on stream, which I don't necessarily do to just, like, pad time, but I do because I have something I'm interested in showing you. I have to find alternative means. Angel is a clipping goat. They're pretty fantastic at that. Carl would be proud. I am. Hello, is this your first stream? Love your content so far. Hello, David Guerrero. I recall you. You've commented before. How are you? This is my first stream on YouTube. I often stream on Twitch, but the vibe is a bit different, and I wanted to see if I can cultivate something here. Who said you can't have... I love how you corrected yourself, Skara. Who said you can't have tea? No, it's more that, like, I can't have YouTube on screen, is what I just wanted to say. But no, I just saw the Hagiware cup. It looks very nice. You wouldn't happen to be a cultural enthusiast of Japan, would you? It's 1:21 here. I'll be streaming, at least for you, until like 3 or so. I'm doing quite well. I'm glad to hear it, David. Currently have the first page of House of Leaves open. Enjoy yourself. I shouldn't have caffeine. Definitely not this late. Polka dot. Can you look out my window? Well, generally you can't look out my window because it's so blown out, right? When you usually see a Celery Dust video, 10-minute talk, the lighting is so immaculate and bright, you can't help but not even be able to see the window, or what's outside of it. And now all you can see is cloudy sky. Congratulations on 800, how goes the stream? It's going pretty well, Morstein, how are you? I fear I might be a little bit... I'm slowly getting used to the YouTube environment. I'll admit, the silence is like tension. It's like a coiled up spring. I can't help but feel as though like something is going to happen, because on Twitch things are often loud. I'm sleepy, but I wanted to come out and support you. Oh, thank you so much, Forstein. Yeah, that doesn't work here, calls that command. There's a cement wall on the other side of the window. Exactly. It's just a large white wall. It's a set. I'm actually streaming from the college's media center. Now all of this is fake. None of it is real. No, why would I lie to all of you? I don't know who said I can't have tea, but whoever did, I'm gonna give him a punch. That's right. Celerity Dust sans video in live stream is the kind of person to punch. How many of you are like stream watchers, I must ask? Because I don't really think of YouTube as a streaming platform, even if a lot of the people who inspired me to be a VTuber particularly were YouTubers. My derriere is braille. Oh my goodness. I remember I found your stream on complete accident when I was trying to send you some fan art. My skills are so bad. Oh no, don't say that. Skara hates instincts. And Skara just associates certain voices. Oh yeah. No worries. As long as you're trying, I really appreciate that. Not everyone does. I don't know, I watch both streams and videos. I really catch them at random, like during work, like right now. Are you at work, David? David, you gotta keep me hidden. If your workplace knows that I'm streaming directly into your phone, they will come after me. And there will be hell to pay for getting rid of your attention. No, because the more I think of my personal media consumption, the more alien all of you become, to a small degree. Speaker check? Oh no, I wouldn't do that. Hide your blue-haired twinks, exactly. Hide. Be gone. No, I feel like I'm too milquetoast. Sometimes I worry, right, that, like, I've always thought of myself as unclippable. Which, I mean, I have lovely people like Lava Planet, who is currently getting better, like Angel, who frequently clip me, and I appreciate that. But generally and otherwise, I feel worried about my, moment-to-moment goofs and bits and jokes and japes. I've been complimented on them before, but I can't help but be a little, not demure. You're clearly clippable. Oh, that's very appreciated. My manager caught me watching very sus content, admittedly, before admittedly very silly stuff. That's all you've got to, okay, I'm your study buddy from another world, right? Which means I have to tutor you all a little bit in all kinds of things. Which includes always have, you can click Alt-Tab to switch windows, always have a window with either Google or the important work on it. This has saved me many a day when I work the office at my job. No one is unclippable because everyone's funny. It's just you forget when you do something cool or funny and only remember it when you do something embarrassing. That's true. Wow. I can't help but feel as though that is very mean, but also very accurate. Milquetoast can be quite successful. There's far more out there and the more out there stuff can fail much harder if they can't perform fundamentals. I would worry about other things. There are a couple of games that have Excel mode. It can look like you're working on a button press. Ooh. I feel like even that's a bit high tech. I feel like it's as simple as, I don't know, what kind of work do you all do? Sorry, I was adjusting my hair, but then it went into my head. There you go. Just need to fix it. Got a little bit rough on the side. Just keep being you, Sal. That's why we're all here, as members of a little cozy cult. That's true. You know, come here, study buddy. I struggled for a very long time knowing what it is that all y'all want. And during a valley that I engaged with recently, I was talking to a buddy, and I essentially said, what do I do now? And they go, like, just be you. They're here for you after all. And it's weird how you know something to be true, how you have advice you would definitely give other people. I would say that much to a lot of you, but it's weird hearing it from somebody else and it being legitimate in that way, right? Just play Dwarf Fortress, it's already a spreadsheet. If I could play Quasimorph on a spreadsheet, you've got me sold entirely, Morstein. Does Selly exercise? I do not as often. I tend to be a very big homebody. I'm more of a... I am learning a little bit of Caribbean dance from tutorials, but it's not anything that I'm willing to knock out the body tracking for, as much as I'd like to. And all the workout that I generally do tends to be leg focused. when I would go to machines every week or so, I would do abductions, adductions, and weighted squats. And that's not a deadlift per se over my shoulders. That would be me pushing up against heavy load. I think the highest I got to was 160, which is not particularly impressive. I use Opera GX. Well, also, I feel like, do you have an Opera GX on like a work or school phone? Or work or school device? That's interesting to me more than anything. So how's Cake noted? Just no word, just Definitely something that I invested in as well. I exercised my butt too, cheers. No, it's so funny. I was talking to my guidance counselor the other day, and I mentioned to them that, oh, yes, when I worked out pretty frequently, it was almost all legs, and they said, somewhere out there, a dude bro, a gym dude bro wishes they were you. Because what is that? Could someone explain that to me? I'm not very familiar with the culture of Earth, like too dearly, too intensely. What does it mean that, like, gym bros do not work legs? I've been doing a lot of arms and cardio lately. Are you a gym bro, Rorsteen? Gym bros tend to skip legs, right? Because they want that, they want that triangle. How do I do that with these fingers? Okay, let's do this. Triangle, but opposite. Oh. Can't do it. A femboy envies you greatly. Oh gosh, I get to do this now. I hope I don't scare anyone away, but... Oh, no, do I do it? Kaza, do I do it? I'm not a gym bro LMAO. I just focus on my back and shoulders and arms for work. But I have to work super hard in glutes, and that's not... Yeah, that's very... for archaeologist. Like, do the other voice. Oh. So that's Kate noted. I have more than Kate. If someone walks in on you watching NSFW, close the tab in a subtle manner to prevent them from noticing. If they catch you and you're too late, stare at them deadpan and say banana. Some of you are too comfortable advising gaslighting as your end-all be-all. Some of you are too comfortable just going, oh yeah, why not? I just get a little bit nervous, you know. I still don't know what my YouTube audience is like. Some of them you just need to gaslight better. Why lie? Lying is mean and bad. Guys generally hate doing legs, says David. Why? Is it because they don't want to get caked up? Is it aesthetic? Or is it just because, I guess, leg movements tend to be easier on them? Or rather harder on them? Are legs just easier for gym non-bros? Lying is only morally okay if it's funny, that's fair. Yeah, they want that Johnny Bravo build. They want that. But however, what if you want to be a Baki? Right? T. What if you want to be a Baki? From what I've seen, gym bros want bigger arms and skip leg days, while gym girlies want a bigger butt and skip arm day. I do skip arm day. Honestly, if I needed to lift something, I would sooner go on my back and send my legs upwards than I would try to lift it with my arms. This sentence is false apart from where it's true. Very true. The only gaslight light is around a campfire. Ooh. Baki is another level. Baki is an anime. And it is the most disconcerting thing I've ever seen. I've only seen, right, like, the focus on all the different fighters, like TikToks of all the different fighters explaining their different gimmicks. It's just body mod and muscles, just to the extreme. Yeah, I've only seen memes as well, T, but it's incredibly fearsome, isn't it? You should do all your body for your health. No. If I die, if I die, If I die, they will bury me face down. Silly. Dumb. Stupid. Oh goodness. Ah. Exactly, T. Very, very true. Really a nice tummy. Tummy and pecs. I do work core as well, but a lot of core exercise also is not stymied, built around legs as well, right? No stone needed. No, I would like. I just don't want to grow my shoulders, if anything. I would like to just keep the arms like pretty slim and like cut. Do the torso as well. But all that being said, I haven't worked out in quite a bit. I tended to just eat enough to burn it off the same way. I wonder what my hand tracking is seeing is a hand, because I have phantom hands going up. True. Yeah, sometimes equilibrium and diet are very, very helpful. Sometimes. But, you know, just exist as you are. Sleep well, Polka Dot. Now is all your We will sleep on celebrity. Exactly, everyone just come here. Everyone, the bed's right there. We're gonna be a massive cuddle puddle. Toombi, isn't that Megamind? Oh no, Toombi. Dokapot. No, I think the nerves are that would be a dream actually. Exactly. I mean, it's nighttime. Just let's do some role play. Let's do some role play. Just go. Oh, I know we've been just the anime voice. I know we've been studying pretty late. I know you gotta go home, but why don't you just stay here for a little bit? Celery Dust immediately goes into the parasocial. Immediately. Why don't you just... You don't have to go, do you? Eat studying papers with mind. Don't do that. I need to bring them into work to get tomorrow. School tomorrow, even. I feel a little bad cutting down the 10-minute talks, if I'm being perfectly honest, if I may just speak to that. Because to a certain degree, it's given my life a lot of structure that I needed very recently, right? It is really, it's I wouldn't say changed, I wouldn't go so as far as to say changed my life, but it's been, sometimes you need things to orbit, you know what I mean? And I want to fill that space with more different worthy things, like projects, in terms of like my daily workload. But when you've orbited something for so long, it's like, how many of you have had a local pizzeria? How many of you have a local pizzeria, or maybe a fish and chip shop, or some kind of place that you feel comfortable around, that it's become somewhat of a monument of your day-to-day experience? It's something, it's one of the 5 places you can just list off your hand. I have memories. I recall being in middle school, right? And on the way home, there was this really cute little pizzeria that did $1 for 5 garlic knots, and it would be a little bit of a ritual to after class or after extracurriculars, go over there and get 5 and just split them between like 4 other friends. And I went there recently. Last time I was to Earth, but last time I was peeking around, and I found that it closed down during COVID. Sorry, all this ramble to say or to speak to the fact that even if it's meant to happen, even if you're intentionally doing it, having things to orbit and then losing them, or otherwise finding new ones, can be a little bit of a ordeal, can't it? I want a fish and chip shop. I'm in France. Oh. That's the thing, isn't it? Well, France has good food too. I don't trust anywhere with a good steak tartare. Is the thing. Scar doesn't understand though. I feel like all the chippies near me are horrible. Actually, my favorite British food I think has to be a Cornish pasty. Just an old steak and onion Cornish pasty. Hey Sel, I'm doing Doomington on Twitch. How could I tell, Doom? Welcome in. Ask my local kebab shop. Kebab is in Mediterranean, or kebab just they put meat on spikes. So I agree with you on a spiritual level. It's important to have things to orbit, right? It's important to have things in your life that you can come back to, like a old well. But also I want to change my route a little bit, so I'm not going to be seeing it for a little bit. I mean, I'm still going to be posting 2 every week, but you know. Cornish pasties are so easy to make and so nice. They are really nice. Not to speak down to your culture, Toombi, but it's like a gourmet hot pocket. Y'all are making me hungry. Well, T, what you got to eat? T, I'm calling you out. T, step up. T, show me. Gum? Do you have enough for the class? Scar never had Cornish pasties. It's really nice. Everything is gourmet compared to Hot Pocket. I don't know, Hot Pocket is pretty good. Especially the lean pockets. You're assuming I've eaten food today. Angel, eat. I gotta work today, right now. It's making me hungry. Oh no, Sleepy. I'm so sorry. We can talk about something aside of food. Yes, actually, okay. So you need at least 22 pieces. Congrats. Thank you so much, Zeku. How are you? Konnichiwa. Genki desu ka? Cornish pasty, the child labor food. Hey. You know, the ends justify the means. If I can get a good Cornish pasty from a couple of pockmarked teens flipping them in the oven, I'll eat that stuff up. The tub says 60. Is that enough? Oh yeah, that's like 3 times what we need. Everyone say thank you, T, for the gum. I feel like what you're talking about is not things to orbit, but a third space. I mean, maybe what it was that made me so excited was the fact that I would split that $1 worth of dough across 4 other people, a la Yu-Gi-Oh! Party, right? Like, very much akin to the 5-man band. Maybe that's what I miss, but I also think that the regularity, the landmarkedness is very nice. I don't know, how do you all feel about regularity? Isn't Pinoy food good? Oh, it's fantastic. I've yet to hear somebody who does not like lumpia, even if you don't like fried foods. Thank you, T. Oh, you can't do that! You can't do that! Your voice carries. Everyone's gonna hear. Do you like Mike de Leon? I'm not familiar. Is that like a D's? Is that like a French D's? Oh, I'm not familiar. I'm not familiar with them or their work. I'm not much of a cinephile either. I'm not very much a kino enjoyer. Scar hates regularity for it is boring, while weird is far more fun. I don't necessarily mean, right, Scara? I don't mean like these societal ideas or normalcy. I don't mean that necessarily. I more mean like being able to fall into routine. Oh gosh. I like to say that I can weather change pretty well, but I'm kind of giving a buddy fuel with regards to a tentative autism diagnosis. From their perspective. I just hope they're not here. Hello, Mara. I forgot this was happening, but I'm here now. I'm so sorry. Don't be sorry, Mara. I'm glad you're here. What did Kaza do? Oh, Mark De Leon is my favorite director from the Philippines. How about that Manny Pacquiao? The Philippines has three things. We had Charisse and Pyramid, and now we have Manny Pacquiao. We also have Kenan Kuro. We do have that. Finally, you're finally in my home. I'm in your. I am. I'm on YouTube. I'm on YouTube now. Isn't that darling? Isn't that so sweet? No, everyone. Oh, you gotta be careful about that gum. People are coming in. I guess. Not to be engagement baity or anything. I hold myself to a whole, like, 2 feet of journalistic standard, and at the 3rd foot, I'm just like, I kind of just go bleh, just do whatever. I guess what I have to say is that, like, if you didn't have a Chippy or a pizza place, what do you have that? Do you have a small monument to your just existence that you revisit every now and then, or used to revisit, and it held you down during a time in your life? Cell's great at baiting. Oh, I know where this one goes. Who's there, Toombi? Come here often, you Dembo? Oh. Hello yourself. Oh, Mara. This is my first time here. Care to show a lady around? A document, please help. Oh. The black link is getting to me. The tea place in my monument, that's really wonderful. No, Jake, I love tea. Like, I think we've taken out the ritualism of tea in a lot of different things. We've taken out rituality in so many things, in so many small behaviors that used to, due to time, really. I think it's really interesting. What are people talking about? Oh, I'm not gonna lie, I was taking a bit of back and forth from your stream. I'm used to your 10-minute talk stuff and not you in streamer mode. How different am I? True, France was very ritual before, but it's more than that though. It's more like, I can't help but think that brushing your teeth was such an endeavor, even if kids hated it. Kids wouldn't be looking at their phone, they wouldn't be, maybe they might be reading a book. Could you imagine? But, like, imagine spending 2 minutes every day of your life just quietly processing your day as you go through the process of brushing every single tooth, right? Ha, cat! Ha 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 ha! Hello there. Enjoy your food, Angel. How do I say that? Scar doesn't see any difference, but it might just be people not being used to being uncut. That's true. People aren't used to me looking like this, you know? I think what's really interesting is that my naturalistic speech I had an individual, a lovely individual, a mouse individual. I don't remember them very closely, but they mentioned something about the fact that like I use so many big words. If I wanted to communicate better, I would shorten them, and that is true. That is fair. If you want to be, if you want to be read by more people, you just need to speak at a 5th grade level. Absolutely true, and that continues to go down. But it's still important to be able to do that for the sake of legibility. That being said, I am stuck with it. Speaking as though I'm trying to fill a college paper, a word limit even, is just my naturalistic speech. Speaking of, well, that certainly is a thing. I do my existential pondering washing dishes. Hannel? Good stuff. I appreciate that. You flexing that big brain? Not even. It's like, it's gonna sound so pretentious. It's just like breathing to me. I find that approach to creative output absolutely ludicrous or lugubrious. Please tell me you're teaching me a new word, Zaku. I love new words. When I steal new words, like I'm stealing your tongue. Looking sad and dismal, mournful, gloomy, sad, depressing, from the Latin lugere, meaning to mourn. Goodness gracious, I love how erudite some of my chatters are. Do we feel extreme agony and can't muster the voice to scream due to shock? I think so. I think that's about right for death. As long as the words are as long as the longest city name, you're good. That's true. We could be Welsh. Howdy, Cell. Having dinner right now, but even though YouTube doesn't have a lurk feature, I'll be listening for now. Happy 800. Thank you so much. Honestly, I'm really happy with the turnout. This is just about as much as people I get from Twitch usually when I do my just chattings, when I do my streams. So seeing all of you turn out here, a mixture of my YouTube and Twitch people, it makes me very, very happy. Were some of you surprised by the voice? I got some huhs and ums. I don't know how to read that. I've had some people even say that, it's real. Oh, it is a real word. Yes, yes. I'm a little proud but with my work there. It's taken a long time to get around there. It's not something I would want to pull on a 10-minute talk, I think. I actually have. Goodness, if I were to look back, just look back on myself and back on my history, I have so many different 10-minute talks. Like a good quarter of them not seeing the light of day by virtue of either me losing it around 6 minutes, or because I feel as though it's too out of caricature. Do you know what character is, study buddy? Come here. Character is the grand sweeping statements we use to define a person. The adding a dash of finite to someone's infinite existence. And the thing about that is that you develop such an idea of a person that when they bucket, there is the tiniest of traumas, like the hammer that they use to test your knee reflex. I need to turn off my hands because it's just yassifying me. There's a tiny little trauma that occurs when you learn more of someone, when they begin to expand your finite idea of them, and often with that comes revulsion. Yassified is a good thing. Only if it's intentional. If I'm doing this on purpose, right? If I'm doing this, good. If my hand tracking just does this, from nowhere, it's crazy. Scar has no character. Scar just changes depending on the person Scar talks to. Oh, goodness. Social butterfly, then. There was that clip of you going, "Hey, kitten, it's me." That's true, I did do that once. That is one of my shorts, and that was my voice. No, that was on my that was on my YouTube channel. That was actually on one of my shorts. I was talking about your voice as a creator. Right? I was talking about your voice as a creator as you make things. How does something look distinctly and specifically you versus being like anyone else's? And basically by virtue of it being filtered through you, any piece of content or media, it becomes unique in a small way. Unless you spend the effort and time to emulate someone specific. Your own lens, by virtue of that, will yield a unique product. But I do lead that with it's me, your Discord mommy. Sure, of course, you can send Discord. I do have a Discord. The intentionality of yassification is important to you? I believe so. So much of our world is not even performance, but it is a unsolicited show, right? Like Cal, or C-Cal. How may I refer to you? Ninja, perhaps? Ninja, come here. So much of our life is us being perceived by other people, right? And people, those of you who have very strong senses of self, centeredness, or a lack of, or security, perhaps, don't often think about how that's perceived. But people are constantly perceiving each other, even if it is subconscious. And those of us who are insecure, such as myself, we tend to be very intentional with how we are perceived, with how we're drawn. I mean, like, look at the overlay. Right? I had to add that live in. That's new. I want you to see me as yassified when I want to, you know. Scar mimics as a way to cope with social anxiety. Online, Scar is genuine in all but name. I think that's interesting. The idea that we can be more personable, more real. Hello, Pyro. Welcome in. Crocs. It's interesting to hear like your other name, your alternative name. How are you, Pyro? It's interesting to see people be more themselves on the internet instead of less. I mean, we've already like seen that with the ugliest parts of humanity, like how quickly we will go to like a witch hunt when things go poor. As early back as like the early 2000s, the way we would band together and just go after someone. But I think it, by virtue of it showing people's truest selves, not necessarily their best or worst selves, without shame, without the panopticon that is public perception. I think it's really interesting that places like VR chat and VTubing spaces and even YouTube and even chatters can even build up their own identity, right? Yeah, you're a different you, but it's not necessarily not you, right, Kaza? I get to keep my username due to literally no one using Tube in games. Gender has been interesting recently as well. Yours specifically or just in general? The thing is, I think that information is being spread at a fantastic rate, a mind-numbing rate even. And the sky's the limit. Like, you don't really think about Kant. But if you wanted to, Immanuel Kant's out there. You don't really, just by virtue of those things being more accessible, you can think of new things. And it's where I think that standing on the shoulders of giants is so important. It's because having to reinvent everything every 10, 15 years is just such stagnancy. That's part of the reason why it took so long for us to grow. That we have so much of the human experience now cataloged to look through. I feel like the aliens are going to have a lot of content to binge. I've been feeling more masculine for you, and that's cool. I'm happy for you, Kaza. I'm kind of back and forth with that. Personally with myself, but I'm happy for you. That's all fair. I think I'm used to being okay with the flexibility and happy accidents of personality and expression. Also, you can call me Cal. Cal it is. It's interesting you all are talking about usernames, but I have no consistency with mine. I mean, before, you have to understand, Pyro, or rather Croc. Which one would you prefer? You have to understand. I'm Croc here, Pyro on Twitch, and Pyro Croc on Discord. That's the through line between those two. No, the thing is, right? I think the internet is a completely different place for two people. I mean, I have three people, okay, but we're not gonna count the normal people, right? By virtue of you being here, watching with me, sharing the space with me, you are not normal, okay? You are exceptional. And I'm happy that you're here. But that aside, normal people aside, the people who unironically use Instagram and Snapchat as their main, like, vibes, as their main telephone even, beyond their iPhone or Android messaging, there are lurkers and there are people, right? There are lurkers and then there are people who make things, or creators, or otherwise leave an imprint, and the lifestyle of a lurker is so different, and I would know, having been one of them in the past. Right? I could tell you all the tricks. For example, it's actually better, if you want to stay hidden, it's better to use a username in a fandom where that's commonly being used than it is to do a random group of letters and such, right? It's much better to be Carcat 7 because they'll have to contend with Carcat 1 through 6 and then the Homestuck community, even if, right? More genuine online. Actually, I like reveling in the relative anonymity, so I'm much less genuine. That's so fair. That's absolutely fair, Sasquatch. I'm a very transparent person. I can't hide much. Is that so, Jay? It does one well to perform a little bit of operation security. Can I tell you all a little anecdote that I feel as though is going to make me seem a little bit, not savage. How do I say this? It makes me seem a little bit less comfy than I usually am. If you wrong me in an online game, I check how good your OPSEC is. If you wrong me in an online game, if you use that username anywhere else, I know your general area. I might even know your first name. I mean, on the internet, I'm just able to use my dark sense of humor and nobody's really taken it back because it's fine. Otherwise, I'm told I'm too uncomfortable to be around, or that makes me seem like a serial killer. It's just neurodivergence, you know. I am Jake Finn, one of millions. That's true. That's pretty good. So what multiplayer games do you play? I used to play Rainbow Six Siege and Dead by Daylight, both of which having very terrible communities. I always try to be nice, even when being mean in a video game. Even being mean to video game characters makes me feel bad, let alone another person. And that's good. It means you have an overdeveloped sense of empathy. That's not necessarily bad at all. I'm undoxable, says Shake. When I first created a username, it was Awesome Sauce, and then a year later I thought it sounded silly, so I changed it to Angel. It's fair. I feel like identity, says Hanel, is a mixture of something genuine and performance from both others and ourselves. I mean, very true. Cell was toxic before being a caked up YouTuber. No, I wasn't toxic. No, you misinterpret me. Okay. I'm full of so much impotent rage, T. Okay? I think of like I am definitely the kind of person who collects comebacks after the conversation and never uses them. You know what's weird? My cousin who hates slasher horror movies and isn't much of a gamer loves DPD. It's because the gameplay loop is so repetitive. That mastery is simultaneously has a low floor and a high ceiling. So it makes people who don't even play video games feel very good at what they're doing. I feel impotent rage too, exactly. I would never act on it. And I know that not everyone has the opportunity to have parents. But sometimes when I hear somebody act a certain way, right? When I see somebody go off in a certain way, I can't help but feel as though, well, I kind of want to tell on you. I kind of want to tell on your parents. Would you behave the way you did if you had a nice stern talking to? That's been something on my mind recently. I've recently seen a couple of drama things on Twitter, and that just makes me always makes me bite my tongue. And kids going after adults for non-crimes and things they don't understand and cannot and should not understand until a period of time passes. I look at this stuff, them endangering themselves. I'm like, I want to tell on you so bad. I want your mom or dad or guardian to talk to you about this. Some parents are why kids are jerks. That's true. That is true. You know, for some kids, their parent was their first ability. And I don't envy them. I was raised by CPS in the church during my young teen years were turbulent. I'm sorry to hear that, David. The thing, how do I speak to this? I appreciate you having the courage to share. I think part of being an adolescent is coming to terms with the indignity of realizing adults are hypocrites because they're just human. Okay, Zeku, that is true. That is true that we shouldn't implicitly trust people who are older than us just because they are older than us. Older does not always mean wiser. And one of the videos I have recorded, one of the 10-minute talks I have recorded, but have been really struggling to post because I feel like I'm worried that it might be too... I'm worried that it might be too mean. But it's about how the elderly should not be entitled to us, and to us protecting and saving them. Specifically in cultures wherein it is expected of the new generation to take care of the old generation. Collectivism is good for a lot of things, but you know, I think that by virtue of being a good adult, you'll raise a good kid who will take care of you in the later end, right? I don't want to be anything like my parents. Anytime I recognize behaviors I get from them, I feel guttural hatred. I'm so sorry to hear that, Sleepy. Gross overstatement, Jake. Do it. Let the people hear it. I mean... I'd hate to see how you are in fighting games or League or MOBAs. I'm not allowed to play League anymore. League of Legends is no longer allowed on my PC. There are lessons that come with age, but it can be difficult to accept them without hindsight. That's true. It's true, right, that we shouldn't... that young ones should question and poke at their parents and authorities, because by virtue of engaging that system, it makes them more invested and less dissociated. We have an issue nowadays with a lot of us, both young and old, being dissociated, or otherwise just trucking along without counting the moments, counting the seconds, counting the little pleasures. That being said, these kids were trying to cancel adults making up stuff or grossly misunderstanding stuff, and I'm like, no matter how young you are, I feel like this is tell on your parents territory. Oh, but thank you for sharing, David. I hope I didn't, mishandle that. And I hope that you're in a much better place now. I mean, by virtue of being here and sort of sharing this space with all of us, I hope you are feeling well, as everyone else is in chat. I find... Okay, T. Here's the thing, right? I find that there is a pipeline. I wasn't in it. Let me clarify, I wasn't in it. But there is a pipeline of people who grew up a little bit rough and toxic and eventually turned into caked up tubers. Scar's father is an anti-woke joke, however he taught me to be kind to others, and video games taught me about LGBT in a child-friendly manner. So when Scar grew older, they were surprised about it. That's so fair. Caked up. Yes. Of all things. Yes! Yeah, yes, Arrow. People who... You know... Speaking of talking with parents, there's a lot of online consequences where I wish there were more options to handle things than modern moderation community has. Is that so? The thing is, a blog is a restraining order, right? A block is a restraining order. I'm trying to think of more things. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Pyro. And cheers, Jake. I'm glad we all can just confide in each other. I've always been seen as good compared to my older sister, so I was ignored. I was left in a bubble of being a good kid, doing what they were all supposed to do. I make mistakes. Go for it. I just checked out the stream, they're already talking about restraining orders. Anima, hello, how are you? No, we're just talking about, like, how... Sasquatch very briefly said how they wished that, you could utilize some, like, online moderation tools in order to otherwise stamp out behavior, or like, engage in social harmony. And I was like, a block is just a restraining order, isn't it? Isn't it? If only they were so all-encompassing. I'm glad your parents are better now, Jake. No, Angel. Celerity Dust, the channel and the creator, does not greatly and quickly suggest you produce crimes. However, I will say, if you make a mistake and realize you don't like it, at least you learned you didn't like it, right? Sleep well, Toomby. Good night. Kaza does do all the crimes. No, Kaza, don't do that. How are you, Anima? Okay, but I think blocking can be negative in two specific cases. Hideki Kayama and Jason Schreier, who blocked so many people, it actually led to problems with how they manage business. That is insane. Think of blocking as a curation tool more than a moderation tool. Oh, then do tell. Sasquatch, I'm happy to hear it. Rest well, Toomby. The thing is, right, I defend an individual's right to curate their space as much as they need or want, right? I feel like there's no greater, and this will lead me to be lauded as a hedonist, perhaps, but I think there's no greater person to serve than yourself at times. This comes from a person who's given a lot. I think you don't owe anyone anything, and turtling up does not make you a bad person. It might not make you a rounded person. I think you'd be happier if you gave yourself out, if you were generous and kind, if you went out of your way to raise other people up. But at the same time, I can't help but feel a touch antisocial in that way. But I'm a VTuber, right? What else can I say? Kamiya is particularly accidentally made Bayonetta 3 a situation way worse with his Twitter antics. I'm not familiar with this situation per se. Pyro. turtling up doesn't make you a bad person. It just doesn't make you a very rounded person. Turtles are very round. Thank you, Arrow. I've come to the problem on how do I serve myself. I don't even know what I want or who I am, really. I mean, watch all my videos. But what comes to mind particularly is that sometimes we realize what we want after realizing what we don't. Try a whole bunch of things, and if you have an instinctive, knee-jerk reaction, ask yourself why you had that. Play around with that. Kamiya legitimately had an addiction to social media, and his coworkers would slap his phone out of his hands. There are worse things to be addicted to, but that is pretty rough, yes. I don't want to ever speak down to somebody's addiction, especially since behavioral addictions are much harder to kick. Not necessarily harder. Don't want to put these two items on a scale, but behavioral addictions, or things that you do to yourself or with yourself, I'm sure all of you can think of one or two examples, can be very dangerous because you don't need to buy your next hit or such, right? Like, there are brain chemistry addictions, and there are addictions that are based on like cyclical dopamine and dopaminergic loss, right? I think they're all equally valid though. Whatever you can do to pull yourself sort of up and where you need to be. Curation versus moderation in my head is curation is what you do for yourself, moderation is what you do to control a space. For example, Tumblr banning trans people is moderation versus those trans people blocking bigots and curation. Oh, I don't like that. I mean, we must do that. We must curate, we must moderate, but what a description. My heart. I own too many teacups. I have Mashiko ware and your Ukrainian cup coming tomorrow. Ooh! And then you can make yourself feel like, not Let Them Eat Cake, Catherine the Great. Voice actress for Bayonetta, Helena Taylor, was replaced by Jennifer Hale in Bayonetta 3. Taylor claimed that she was only offered $4,000, which was false. And he couldn't really... The developer couldn't really defend themselves because of the hyper-curation. Moderation in all things, no. Hello, Mouse. How are you? Welcome in. What do you mean? I buy my games. I never pirated anything ever. The self-report. Burp. How are you, Mouse? Welcome in. One of the new ones. See, Mouse, I'm small enough that I recognize a face. Or rather recognize a name and a face. Giga has a YouTube clip about moderating stream chats, which push for a certain type of chat. That is true. I guess the issue is, similar to what Angel said earlier, is that I don't know what I want out of all of this yet. See, I recorded all the answers for a Q&A that I was going to do for 750, but I just never edited it. But, they asked me, the question I think was from, it might have been from Deek, so it might have been from Dino. But the question was, did I go into YouTube and or Twitch with anything in mind? Right? How do I say this? See, this is where the 10 minutes goes. This is 10 minutes goes to me going, where was I? Where was I? Where was I? Howdy! I showed your videos to a few friends of mine. You might see a few names in the near future if not already. Thank you very much, Mouse. Are they all like you? Are they like a jaguar named Cat? Are they like a pigeon named Board? I hope so. I hope you're all this whole like little party of critters. Like Stand By Me, but with animals. mean, the first step is just getting rid of what you don't want. You warned me about the poop joke and now I know the total line. Exactly, yes. No, I don't like that stuff. And that is actually ban-worthy, that stuff. A goblin named Slime. It's like, the thing is, Kaza, it's kind of like... It is kind of like a Clint Eastwood film, isn't it? Grandor? Grandor. Scar both loves and hates Twitter, for it has either no moderation or moderation teams incompetent. Very true. No, the name was a reference to my first pet, a rat I named Mouse. Child name was very creative. Oh, I can't beat the classics. Our cat's named Cat. 1 second. Cat? Cat, are you here? I'll be right back. I'm gonna get the cat. No, don't go just yet. Don't go just yet. You need to make a cameo. Well, that was a whole lot of nothing. I had just sat her on my seat. She had just dug her nails into me. And as soon as I sit down, they just... A cat? Quick, leg it, boys! Fantastic, rat. Imagine not giving punny names to your pets. I mean... I don't name them. Cat is missing. Cat is missing. Cat is gone. The cat's choosing not to open the door, surprisingly enough, so... I can tell you firsthand that cats won't do what you want. That's true. But the thing is, right, Sasquatch, going back to moderation, a conversation on moderation, I don't know necessarily what I want. To speak to Dixo's question, I'm gonna cite Dixo until Dino comes in and says, actually, that was my question. Or Sasquatch. Or whomever. I came into Twitch trying to be like the big VTubers of that time. Particularly, one of my great inspirations was a Mr. Eveland. And afterwards, I've eventually sort of spiraled out into its own thing. When I started YouTube, I actually came here with a lot less, not standards, a lot less expectation than I did when it came to like streaming properly, right? When it came to how I was gonna make this stuff. I could have come into it thinking I was going to be the next Austin McConnell or Cineflix or Matthew Colville, but I ended up just like mobilizing the 10-minute talk space, the 10-minute talk exercise, and making that into something. And I'm really surprised and really chuffed that all of you caught it. It makes me very, very happy. Cats will get into a bag if they fit over and over and over again. Very true, Pyro. Mine likes boxes more. You would be inspired by Eveland. I think I've teased you about it before. You must have. My cat is named Bra. Because I called him that for 12 months, no one close in the house named him, and that's all he responds to. Lose? Lols? That is fantastic. I love that. Of course, the Swedish funnyman. How could it be anyone else? I mean, I can't help it. You know. I called my cat Boohoo, or Boo Boo, rather, because they hated my ex hated the name. Well, my parents' cat. I mean, it's your cat now. As we all know, cats belong to the person who loves them the most, who want them the most. Blooper reels, where it's all the parts of your videos that don't make the cut but are funny. I'm Swedish? No, I'm not Swedish. No, but I was inspired by a Swede. The little things I pick up. The little things I pick up from different creators. I used to talk about, if you can clock who this is, I used to talk about Jaffa Cakes and Tina Barrett and all that such once upon a lifetime ago. Diggy diggy and all that. Oh, Casa. Is Mimi still around? That just your cat? It just belongs to your ex. I don't recognize these games. That's good. Oh, that could be bad. That could be bad because Mouse, I'm realizing very recently that I'm getting old. All my references are from nearly 20 years ago. 10, 20 years ago. It's the generation. Ugh. Asian. I can actually speak to my sister. Actually speak to that. My sister got 2 cats, but after a while she stopped paying attention to them, so they migrated to my room. Now they just chill around. Exactly. Anima, you're truly old, Cell. Don't say that. I'm still decrepit, even. I might still be young. I might still be hip. I'm with it. I'm so old, a 25-year-old, yes. What reference from 20 years ago is Jaffa Cakes from? Well, not 20, so it could be 20. Oh gosh, when was the first Yogbot post? When was the first one post? I'm going to be in pain. You're in your late 20s, early 30s. I'm not in my 30s. Cell is down with the youths. Exactly, Hannel. I thought age does not mean wisdom. My older brother proves as such. Is that you? I'm not saying I'm old as per wise. I'm saying as old as per I don't want to be that. Okay, no. We're 5 years until it's a 20-year-old series. Cell is a hag streamer. Also, if you're 25, I wouldn't be older than you. I wouldn't worry about it too much, frankly. Oh, you'd be older than me! Crazy. No. I feel like I'm self-centered in all the wrong ways, right? I want to be that kind of self-centered where somebody could make a somewhat snipe at me and I can't just think about the rest of the day. I can just like having the centeredness, the security, just put it down. I'm sorry, Cell, when your references are in their teens, yeah. I'm 30, goodness. Small group of content creators, yeah, I guess so. Well, Europeans are like that. No, that's not true. I mean, Europeans, you beat us to 2 world wars. You beat the Americans to 2 world wars. That's kind of crazy. Yogpod first mentioned Jaffa Cakes in 2010. Fair enough. Yeah, I just have old-fashioned humor. Oh, no, Arrow, please, no. What did I say? Asian? What did people think I said? Asian? Oh, ancient. I mean, I am Asian. I do that. Can we just get a little spam? Can we get a little spam in chat so that stays on the screen a little less? Do whatever you want. Ask me anything. Let's push it up out. Fantastic. Egg. Egg is good. Egg is good. Congratulations on 800. Thank you so much, Elise Angelica. How are you? Welcome in. Pardon me if I'm a little bit loosey-goosey. Like, there is not very much ceremony that I'm bringing to the table. It just so happens that this is somewhat my introduction to all of you, or honestly, in real time, where you say something and I respond. Here's how to fix your references. Either watch old movies, like before your parents were born, or watch brand new stuff at random. Maybe I'm better off as an anachronist. Thank you very much, Croc. I need to become an ancient slab of text. I don't know what that would entail. It's like, I would just be a book then, wouldn't I, lols? No. We are in the postmodern era, I hate that. Jake. What does postmodern mean? Art is a period of hypercapitalist statements. A question then, what doth life? C'est terrible, my response. Artistically? Okay, so artistically, doesn't it just mean like after the modern era, which is like the 60s through the 2000s? So postmodern is basically noughties forward. The issue being that... No, I had a whole laugh about this a while ago. Older internet was different. Very, 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 very fair. Very, very true. No? Oh, please, Jake. Go after it. No, I love it when people correct me. Postmodern existed in 30s and 40s. Really? Where are we now? Contemporary? I caught you live. Hello, Gregory. How are you? Gregory? Just like, do my best, Freddy Fazbear. Hungarian postmodern art very early. Ooh, are you an art history major? Are we calling Cell artistic? My doctor says I'm slightly artistic. Oh, I think you're very artistic, Mouse. Postmodernism in art doesn't mean that, because modernism is a thing in art. Isn't modernism in the 60s through 2000s? I still might be wrong. I can get you're a film buff. You asked me about my favorite director, or rather, if one of your favorite directors was somebody I knew. Would you rather have mind reading powers, but only when you're in a public bathroom, or the power of changing people's underwear color at will? I think I wouldn't relish any ability to read minds, if I'm being perfectly honest. I mean, anima. I feel like that's a deep violation that I would never want to cross. Humans are so precious about how they're perceived, right? If they're not sharing something, they must have good reason for it. I don't understand all that fancy schmancy Harvard stuff. I just like to doodle is all, used to get paid for it too. Oh, would you mind showing me some of your work, Matt? I'm just being very curious. Temporary just means concurrent in time, very true. A film about Rizal, third world hero. That's wonderful! I'm actually familiar with Jose Rizal. National hero of the Philippines. He's basically the Filipino Hamilton. Except he gets executed. But no, like beat for beat. I think he's even had a playmate of him. Beat for beat, Jose Rizal is nearly Filipino Hamilton. Except he gets often executed are so specific lols, right? Because Hamilton, spoilers for the end, which is shown off in the beginning. It's like when an anime opening shows the main characters like all together, but one of them's on the other side. Hamilton gets boo-booed. The film questions the myth of Rizal, the struggle between the artist, twist, and fiction is so very postmodern. Intertextual play? Yes. I never thought I would hear the sentence Filipino Hamilton, but here we are. I mean, first of all... Okay, first of all, not to out myself, but hi, I guess those of you on the might call me a swagapino. Actually, no, because they have like Riz and all that such, and all I am is just the Nord. However, it's like a Greek tragedy, exactly, Angel. And in that way, there's just the slightest difference. The opening song involves Hamilton's Killer saying, "Whoopsie daisy," verbatim. Hamilton is just like my anime opening. I mean, it kind of is, isn't it? Speaking of Greek tragedy, have you heard of the ancient Greek legend of tragedies and comedies? I feel like it almost sounds like a funny meme or bit. What's a swagapino? In the VTuber communities, Filipinos tend to like Filipino mention point and laugh, not point and laugh, but point and cheer. Not sell, exactly. Thank you, Jake. I've not heard of that particular legend. I was brushing up on Euripides recently for a video essay that I want to put into play eventually. The video essay is on the topic of Epic the musical being Greek Hamilton. See, we have Filipino Hamilton, we have Greek Hamilton. Be sure to tell you sometime. Oh, you feel free to say it now. I have so many in my mind. Hesiod's Theogony. I keep thinking of it being made by Euripides, but I was looking at Hesiod's Theogony recently because I needed to figure out whose baby it is. When do we get Texas Hamilton? What would that even look like? What has Texas done? All I can think of is the Alamo, and I don't remember what that is. Ironically. Have you heard of the ancient Greek hero Bophades? He was related to Achilles. And while one had Achilles' heel, the other had that. I don't know. I do remember Bophades. I remember their bearer, you know, as the Greek armies would occasionally carry the sigil of their people. We see it much more as like a medieval entry into like historia. But people have been holding up sigils and bearing sigils for thousands of years beforehand, which includes the Greek. And I remember Secundus being Bophades' particular bearer, if I recall correctly. I really hate how many people here in America seem to take the wrong lesson from Hamilton. What's the wrong lesson? What's the wrong lesson from Hamilton? To Kill a Mockingbird is Alabama Monogatari. That's pretty cool. Alabama Monogatari is a fantastic thing to say, lol. Have you heard of the drop bear? It's a carnivorous koala with red eyes only found in Australia. I'd believe it. I feel as though Australians just signed a pact with all the fauna as to not be touched. Alabama Monogatari sounds metal as heck. No, sorry. Could someone tell me, what is the wrong lesson from Hamilton? Because I can think of like a couple, just bad takes. The first one that comes to mind, the wrong lesson to take from Hamilton. Get shot. We dig it. It's the American way. Get shot. Also, the wrong lessons to get from Hamilton. If you ever cheat on your wife, you just want to post it everywhere. Like, everyone should know it. It turned out so well for Hamilton. The wrong lessons to get from Hamilton. Trying to think of more. The wrong message from Hamilton is that historical figures are meant to be shipped. That's the correct answer, actually. Like, Thomas Jefferson was a slave owner IRL, but he's now played by a black man, and they gloss over that. Well, that is true, but so is Hamilton. I have complicated feelings on the sanitation of the Founding Fathers, right? Because I think ideals an aspiration is so important. I think we must have ideologues and images that we want to be like. And I understand that we recently are going away from that because these standards can be so unattainable that it causes people mental damage, psychic damage, just pain. But I think having these images of just ideal perfectionism, somewhat like having a platonic ideal. You know what a platonic ideal is? I mentioned this in a video recently. Platonic ideal, Plato believed there to be a state of reality and being above us, wherein the truest form of beauty and suffering and all these different ideas, honor, justice exists. Everything we experience now is just a pale imitation of that realm we only had seconds to look at. So, with regards to a platonic ideal, I think we've gotten too gritty, we've gotten too grounded. I've said this monologue so many times on Twitch, but I feel like if it comes to the boys and Invincible and all these grim, dark versions of superheroes, it doesn't appeal to me the same way as the original animated series do. It doesn't. I think we need more opportunities to look at something impossible, but in reaching for that impossibility, we get somewhere good. Right? In reaching towards this beautiful, faraway ideal of ours, we get somewhere even barely approaching it. I mean, if you post about it in France, it might gain you political favor. Very true. Bon Dieu, j'ai le vise américaine. Scaras thinks that the depiction of a historical event needs to be accurate. I disagree. I disagree completely and entirely. If the text exists in order to educate, it must be if it exists primarily and only to communicate knowledge and information, it must be as accurate as possible. But Hamilton has recently not recently, like as much as like almost 10 years ago, Hamilton delves into national myth. It makes the mythologization of these people, the founders, even more explicit by virtue of recasting them in such a way that people can see themselves as the constituents of the founding of America, right? It is a slight revision on the... I feel like this is so lukewarm, right? Scar thought Hamilton was fictional. I mean, I gotta learn more. I mean, exactly, right. I went to Paris once. That's when I got into cooking. I went to Paris once as well. I really enjoyed it. I had crepes by the Eiffel Tower. No, I think it is as important to grapple with the reality of things and interact with them as it is to play in the space. One of the most like frustrating little bits of I almost said something completely different of tribalism that I've seen is just the STEM versus humanities kids. I'm not sure why that needs to be the case, but often never mind. I don't have a line of thought for that one. That's the thing. So many of these 10-minute talks have been aborted just by virtue of running out. It can be really sad. Alright. I am going to ask very nicely that we shift away from this particular line of conversation for the last 15 minutes of stream. Last 15 minutes? I did say from 8 to 10. And aside from this just being a fantastic, just all-around success, in which I'm very, very grateful for everyone to come out and celebrate my 800 with me, I'm just surprised more than anything. No worries, I think we just got deeper than we needed to. Finished abs? Jake, you're not doing a workout right now, are you? No, we got 15 minutes. Dino! Dino! Dino's here. Sorry, I didn't mean to have so much fanfare. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you too. I really regret changing the topic to substitute dire. Just as long as I'm leading it, it's absolutely fine. You are working out, huh, Jake? Fair enough. Dino, hello. I'm surprised you don't have more. I don't have more what? More viewers, you mean, Luz? I mean, this is actually fantastic. I think most creators can expect 1% of their followership to turn out. So really, I should have seen 8. So this is a lot. Oh, surprised I don't have more subs. Lose. Well, that's because this is my 4th stream on YouTube. I'm usually a Twitch person. You should do sneaky unannounced YouTube streams. I don't know. I think by virtue of me announcing it, a lot of people came on to say hello. You know, Self, for an 800-year-old, you seem full of life. It's the cope. A little chunk of cope. Keeps me going every day, keeps me going every day. I did not expect the enthusiasm from showing up. Pleasant surprise. I remember my commenters. I'm still in the stage where if Sen came on as well, Sen Flyer, I would also go like, Sen Flyer! Thomas! Even Thomas LaCroix, who hates streams, if they came in, I'd be like, I mean, I usually watch the videos and never do it. Oh, thank you, lols. It's weird. It's weird who gets popular. Work is never 100% attached to the actual product when it comes to things wherein you give your soul and yourself to somebody else. That's one of my big fears and worries. I'm so happy for Midas, honestly. Also happy that that's the first mention of that in the stream. Somehow that makes me feel like people mean the wish with me. She meant to pop up. Midas is really cool. I've had the honor of picking their brain every now and then, so I'm really happy with that. Now the algorithm just chooses whatever. And I think there is an algorithm, but also which does change. But I remember somebody saying, who was it? Was it Game Theory? Was it Markiplier who said that? Oh, Markiplier, we realized that thank you video. Oh, luckily I'm not there yet. There's their Midas video, which led me here. Yeah, I'm really glad for that. Between that and the Clappy Moore video, that was a very big wave of people to say hello to. No, Dino, thank you so much for commenting so much. No, I really appreciate people. I wanted to mention Midas, but the celebration's about you. Thank you very much, Sleepy, for holding it for me. No, I hope you don't mind I hope you don't mind the lack of streamers. The lack of little finger foods. The wine is boxed wine. But ultimately, I'm just happy that you're all willing to sort of chill and such. We came to New York at the same time too. That means we're the next generation. Coming soon, we're gonna be at 900 and then 1,000. It's the cat's bed now, Angel. I'm sorry to say that. Might be back later. If I'm not around, it is a pleasure, Pyro. Got ice cream? Yay, ice cream! Okay, yeah, everyone bring in your own stuff, because unfortunately, my dorm room can only accommodate so much. Yeah, cheers! To VTubing year 5. Oh gosh. No, that's the weird thing, isn't it? Got a box full of 90 fruit snacks. Y'all want any? Oh shoot, between you and tea with the gum, we're so vibing. Angel said earlier, this makes me think of that Markiplier moment where he realized with a thank you video, he would never be able to connect with his audience like he used to. That's a fear of mine. I think I'm hurtling towards that, but I probably won't need to escape or build infrastructure for a long time. Yeah, please, Angel, please pass them out. Everyone, take the box and take one, pass it to your left, please. Oi, stop. I see you. That's two. That's clearly two packages. Put it back. Even if everyone can have more than one, I do not want you. Just pass it over, Dino. Good. Can't believe you. My 800 followers, my 800 subscriber celebration, and here you are trying to get an extra gum up. How did you read my mind? I can tell. I can tell by your character. Back to that. I am very blessed that I'm growing at the rate that I am. It's enough to feel meaningful while not so much that I never got to see all of you. I wonder if people grew so fast that they regret not having the opportunity to speak one-on-one like this. 90 packs of snacks split across 800 subscribers and also one VTuber. No, only the people who showed up get snacks. Mouse, you should know this. The early bird gets the worm, the second mouse gets the cheese. The people who came in, the subscribers get the worm, which is just being able to see me more often. But the people who came in, the CCV, the viewers, they're the ones who get the gummies. No sugar for me, skinny thick, so fair. Your brain has a really hard time envisioning a large amount of people. I can't even 800 people in a room. I can think of 800 people in a room. But that's because I go to college frequently enough that rooms will be staffed with 800. If Jesus could do it, so could we. Love it. Slightly sacrilegious handle. You know, I'm a VTuber. That's kind of like Jesus, right? Why would Scar need gum when Scar can see your mouth for gum? I'm trying to see if I could see my gums here. Bread and fish are different. I'm sorry, Dino. For a second, I was just so thrown aback. You mean like bread and fish and gummy bears? I think I could visualize 60k, but I used to work at a sports center, so fair lose. The correct response is, but don't swallow, okay? I'm completely lost now. Where did we go now? Don't swallow the candy? I'm still on bread and fish are different. I'm trying to think of this. If we were to make a Venn diagram, right? On one side is fish, and the other side is bread. What exactly do they have in common? That's the question. I think that's what I'm most excited to learn about, to know. I eat them. Yeast? I don't think there's... Is there yeast in the fish? Sandwich. Scar is insane, losing brain cells. I'm losing brain cells too. I'm kind of digging it. It's a good place to leave them. Do fish have yeast in them? I mean, it's easy to multiply the fish and bread and fish over the candy. True. Which is why Twitch's ad is helpful. Like, yeah, you can keep splitting fish a bunch of different ways, right? So I feel bad for the person who got the tail. Oh, they have yeast in their mucus. Ah. Good for the fish. You know what they say. Mucus. Putting a picture of cat in general on Discord. Let me peek. Let me give it a look. Oh, what a lovely cat. Is that a Nerf gun in the background? That looks like... It looks like a... Recon. It looks like a yellow Recon with a stalk on the back. I was thinking of soup or gumbo. I need some soup. I think that's what I'm gonna have before I go to bed tonight. Yeah, it's yours. No, find happiness where you are. I think there's something. I feel like something is lost when you work in service to something that you won't see the vibes of. I think they would want you to be happy if you still believed in them. But he's losing silver. Oh no! That is a Nerf Recon. Good eye. I was a Nerf kid. Let me threaten all of you. Here you are. Here it is. Ah! Where did it go? Where did the dart go? I have in my hands a Doom Lens Zombie Strike Blaster. Congrats on the 800 sell. Hello, Araya. Bottom Squeal, how dare you? Friendly Fire. Oh, that's how I get my purple heart, everyone. Thank you so much for the well-wishing, Araya. I actually haven't seen one of your story times yet, but let me just a quick subscribe. Oh no, I can't subscribe to you. You're on the funny number. Araya, remind me this time tomorrow or during my stream tomorrow in case you hit 70 in the next couple of days to subscribe to you. They're not good. Don't say that. Why would you say that? Why would we make a value judgment on ourselves based on that? By virtue of you having made it, it is good. I mean, okay. Can I ask a vulnerable question? How many of you genuinely believe, like, sincerely believe that, like, the 10-minute talks are, like, good content? For what they are, I think they're pretty good, but, like, I wouldn't call them, like, objectively, like, strong. That's the thing, it's all about, by virtue of you having made it, Araya, it is a palpable and enjoyable thing, and you should be proud of it. Same with all of you. Not to generalize the one-on-one interaction there, but by virtue of making something, something has been created. It is fantastic. Look at Jake right now, they're making themselves, they're carving out their body. I'd agree, but I don't think they need to be strong. I will not submit, what's the other word? I will render onto you what is yours. What? I will concede that. I will concede that it doesn't need to be strong. But by virtue of you having made it, it is good. When I saw them, I thought they were made by a really big creator. I mean, that's the little bit of the Lud, isn't it? A little bit of the Ludwig. Okay. Better question. I posted a video called I Wish I Could Do What They Did. Or maybe he did? I don't recall. In that video, you either got a Mr. Beast thumbnail or a Ludwig thumbnail. Which one did you get? If I may ask, which one did you get? When I first saw them, I thought they were made by a big creator. I think part of it comes from just like the mogul male vibe, right? I greatly appreciate that. Ludwig. Everyone else has been telling me Mr. Beast. In fact, Mr. Beast is where I got most of the clicks from. But the most of the retention came from the Ludwig people. I think it's a synergy, personally. I think it's a synergy in our style, right? Both just talking at a camera into a microphone, speaking on something. I like them. You cover interesting topics I rarely come across or think about. You explain your opinions and thoughts as clearly as you can, and you're as consistent as you can be. Thank you, Dino. Sorry, I didn't mean to beg. I didn't mean to beg people for affirmation. I just wanted, like, by virtue, I just wanted to say, like, by virtue of you making something, you've put something, a new perspective in the world. And even if I don't agree with it or enjoy it or personally understand it, my opinion of that thing should not mean anything to you. By virtue of you having made, that should be something that is valuable and loved. 10 minutes are pretty good. It always brings something interesting to talk about. I'm always curious about how I look like from an outside point of view, right? You were begging. It's more like the feedback you wanted. I mean, it is the feedback I wanted, but I'm insecure, alright? One does not become a VTuber out of a great depth and feeling of security in themselves. It's more that I just wanted to... I'm grateful that people are giving feedback, and the feedback is positive. Alright. Sorry it was so short. Honestly, I relish talking like this. Especially when low-key hitting the Dunning-Kruger. High-key hitting the Dunning-Kruger, always. Also, Ludwig made a whole video about making a fresh YouTube channel, so I could see how retention from his viewers could be more than Mr. Beast. That's true. I've come used to saying 10 minutes at the end of the video. I find it funny. I like them in the topics. Ding ding ding! On the first video of yours I watched, when I saw the thumbnail and a 200-ish sub count, I thought, I want to give them a chance. Oh, thank you! Okay, maybe I could be a little self-indulgent. Right? Maybe I can afford myself a little bit of appreciation from Elise and Araya and Dino and Angel and Lols and Scara Meow. It was cemented when you made a video reconsidering what you wanted out of your content. What do you want? Just, oh goodness, I'm so self-important. What makes me happy? I saw the Odyssey, and I was craving a little Odysseus content. I was really glad I decided to subscribe. Hopefully I can follow through with that. You might disagree with me, but I definitely have thoughts on the Odyssey, and specifically Epic the Musical. Alright. I consider your videos really precious, content I've stumbled upon. You receive appreciation, we receive entertainment. Ah, thank you. How do you raid out? How do you send viewers from one place to another? I love hearing opinions so I can respectfully argue. I love that about you. Alright, how do I raid into someone? Can't raid on YouTube. Yes, you can, can't you? Can you not do that now? I could have sworn there was a way. I read the Odyssey as a kid. I got the book at the library, but only got halfway through before returning it. Yeah, that's fair. It is a slow read, and honestly, all the good stuff's in the middle. You have to go into the studio. I'm in the studio. You have to redirect it in your live stream settings. Oh, but I'm not a partner. Ah! Fair enough. What? You can't raid? Why do people think it's better than Twitch? It's because the algorithm's good, right? But no, I'm not big enough yet. Maybe next time. Maybe next time, Study Buddy. Also, by virtue of you following me, you are a Study Buddy now. Appreciate you. You're my dear Study Buddy. You'll get plus 20% on all of your tests. What? So I can rape others. You're a partner, aren't you, Moro? That's jelly. We need to inflate me, exactly. No, we'll make this a thing. My partner push for YouTube, it's gonna be hashtag sell inflation. We're going to make ourselves into a state where we must be regarded. +20, God knows I need that. Thank you. Exactly. If you hit 100, that's all you. If you hit 99, I'm taking credit for 20% of those points. All right, everyone. I'm going to respectfully excuse myself. Please, keep yourselves cool and enjoyable and happy. Please don't overly cover yourself in misery, and enjoy yourselves. My usual sign off is above all things, be well. However, by virtue of this being a YouTube stream, I must go ding ding ding, 2 hours.